Hey guys, Diana here again. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an update on one of my previous videos, Crochet Bunny Peeps. I did this video about 2 years ago. I've gotten over 17,000 views, so I want to thank you guys so very much. I've also gotten several comments. Most of the comments were about how I move my hand in and out of screen and you can't really see, especially for beginners. I want to apologize for that. As you guys know, I like to move my hands when I speak. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to record and I'm going to watch myself as I record so we won't have that problem, okay? Now as you see here with these peeps, these are bigger peeps. The pattern calls for a size, let me see here, a size G hook, which is 4.25. So it's going to create 5-inch peeps, which are beautiful for Easter basket, but I just wanted to create a larger one just so it's easier for beginners to be able to see the stitches. So I've created these, and these are about 9 inches in size. Okay, which I think are super adorable. So I'll be using for this video Charisma yarn, and I'm going to be using a 6.5 millimeter hook, which is a K size. Okay, and now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to move the screen in closer. I'm going to teach you everything that's on the pattern. Also make sure that you print out the printable pattern below on the description so that you can follow along with me. All I ask is that when you finish your peeps, follow me on social media and share your peeps with me, okay? So moving closer, let's begin. Okay, so now the first thing we have to do is the magic ring. So you're going to take, and the way I do my magic ring is I go over 2 fingers. You want to make sure you cross on the back of your fingers, okay, and I go hold it like this. You want to put your hook with the hook side down, you see how it's facing down, to grab the second strand. Twist it. Okay, now you can let go of this. You're going to take the working yarn, so the yarn that's attached to the ball, bring it over and just make a chain. So this is going to secure your magic ring, okay? So now, open this a little bit. Let's do the first row. So the first row tells you 6 single crochets. So 6 single crochet, you're going to put your hook in the loop, bring yarn out. Now you should have 2 loops. You're going to yarn over and go through those 2 loops, okay? So again, in the loop, bring yarn up, you have 2 loops, yarn over, you're going to go into those 2 loops. Okay, so you're going to do that for a total of 6. This is my 3rd one, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Okay. So the way you count your stitches is you count them here by the V's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They look like V's. Okay? So you have 6 V's. And I'm using this color because the pink you can really, I mean, it was really bad to see the stitches. Okay? So now you want to take and you want to hold on to your work and you want to start closing your magic ring. Okay? So there we are. We have a nice little circle. So now the second row tells you increase times 6. So that means that you're going to do 2 single crochets in each of those stitches, okay? So we have 6, so that means we're going to have a total of 12. So we're going to get into the first one. Okay. You want to make sure you're working with the working yarn. This is the one that's attached to your ball. Okay, so now we're just going to do the same thing we did for the first row, single crochets, but we're going to do 2 in each of the stitches. Okay, so that means you're going to go right back to the same spot and do your second one. You're going to do the same thing in the next one, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I almost went into the next one, 8, 9, 10, and the last one for 2, 11, 12. So there we are. We have 12 stitches, okay, so 12 V's, and we could go around and count them. 12 exact V's, okay? So now your third row says single crochet and increase. So that means you're going to single crochet in the first stitch and then you're going to do 2 single crochets in the following stitch, okay? So now for this I would recommend the stitch marker, and I have my stitch marker right here. Okay, I'm gonna make a video on how to make these coming soon. All right, and yes, I know this is not the letter that we're using, but this is the only one that I could find right at the moment. Okay, so what you want to do is you're gonna start your first one, which is the first single crochet of the third row. Okay, and then we're gonna take our stitch marker and we're gonna put it on one of those loops. Okay, so that means it is right here on the one we just made. Okay, so the second we're gonna do 2. So this is 2, 3. The next one has 1, that's 4. The next one has 2, 5, 6. The next one has, oh, let me grab that little yarn that escaped there. Hold on. Okay. Next one has 1, so 7. Next one has 2 for 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Next one is 10, so it's only 1. Following is 2 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Next one has 1, 16, and the last one has 2 for 18. Okay, 17 and 18. And this is, like I said, where a stitch marker comes in handy, because you see the stitch marker is on the first one. So if we go back now, we count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And the one that's connected to the hook is 18. Okay, so we have 18 V's. Okay, so your second row, your fourth row, I'm sorry. Your fourth row calls for 2 single crochets and increase. So you're going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, and then the third stitch is going to have 2 single crochets in it. So that's what it means by increase. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do row 4, 5, and then for 6 through 10, once you get to row 5, which you have 30 stitches, you're going to do 6 through 10. So it would be row 6, row 7, 8, 9, and 10, which is 5 rows. So you're going to do 5 additional rows of 30, and then we'll be ready to do the decrease. So I'll meet you here to do the decrease. Okay, let me catch up to you guys. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm almost done with my 30 stitches from 6 to 10. So this is row 10. Okay, and then we're going to do the decrease. And before we do that, that's when you can pull your magic ring really, really tight, because I don't know if yours went in the right way. It takes time, but I mean, we've already done up to row 10. So as you see here, okay, I think this is it here. See here? Yes. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, and as you see, it already turned and made a little, almost like an egg shape, a little half a ball. And my magic ring, the extra string, is inside. So I mean, mine is nice and tight, but we can tighten it just a little bit more. So let me just put this one out so that I don't lose it. And you want to make sure you hold on to it, and you want to tighten it as tight as it'll go. So you see here, we don't have a hole, because this is going to stay, and I usually leave this inside. That's going to stay there, and you're going to fill up your bunny, your peep, and that's going to disappear. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do row 11. Row 11 tells you 3 single crochet and then decrease. Okay, so I'm going to do my first stitch, and I'm just going to put, let me take this little stitch marker out. So here, we're going to go right back in here. Okay, and I'm going to do my first single crochet. So you always want to make sure your stitch marker is on your first single crochet. Now, yes, these nails give me a hard time with these stitch markers. Okay, I think it's right there. Perfect. Okay, so that's the first one. So we needed to do 2 more. So here's the second, and here's the third. Okay, and now in order to do a decrease, an invisible decrease, if you see here, let me see here. Okay, we have the V's here. We're going to go on the first loop of the V. So remember the V has two, let me stretch this out a little bit. The V has those two loops, right? So we want to go only on the first one on the front side. This one and the next stitch, the same thing, the front side only, okay? So the front loop. So let's see here so that you can see. So we're just going to put our hook the first one. You see I didn't go through the second one. Bring it down and do the same thing. So I have now 3 loops. So I took the 2 loops. You see, here's my light. I think my light is dying. Let's see if I take it out. Oh no, it's blue now. Hold on. Hold on, I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, I'm back. My light was dying, the battery was dying, so I had to replace it. But that's so that people know that, you know, it takes a long time to make these videos. All the stopping, and then, you know, you got to edit, because I had people too that say, you know, it's monetized. Of course it's monetized, but I do this because I have a passion for this. I love to teach people the things that I know how to do. Okay, so here we are back to our decrease. Okay, so we have the 3 loops. Now we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over again and go through the remaining 2 loops. So you see here, it's going to disappear. Once we get done with more, it's going to disappear. So now, since we had technical difficulties, let's go through that again. So here we had, again, now we have to do 3 single crochet. So you want to make sure that you've pulled, you see where you pulled your 2 strands, so that you could go into the next stitch. So this would be my V here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we're going to go into the next 2 stitches for the decrease, but only the front of the V. So the front loop and then the front loop of the following stitch. Okay, so you have 3 stitches, 3 loops. You're going to go yarn over, go through 2 of the stitches, and then you're going to go through the remaining 2 stitches. And you want to make sure when you're doing this, you have this loop as tight as possible, so that you don't have a really big gap in between your stitches. Okay, so then now we're going to go and we're going to continue in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the following 2 is a decrease. Okay, and 1. Same thing, you're just going to follow this all the way around. 2. 2, 3. And the following 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to do a decrease. Okay, so you have the 2. You're going to go through the first 2, which leaves you with 2. Okay, you're going to go there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now you have the last 2. So you're going to go only the front loop. Okay, you have 3 loops. You're going to yarn over, pull on 2, yarn over, and pull through the remaining 2. And now you see we've met our little stitch marker here. So that means we're good. Okay, so now it's the same thing again. We're going to do, I'm going to continue, I'm going to meet you back here when we're ready to fill the bottom, and then do the increase to go up onto the ears. Okay, so the next row you're going to do is 2 single crochet, decrease times 6 for a total of 18 stitches. Here we have 24. Then row 13 is 1 single crochet, decrease times 6 for 12 stitches. Okay, so I'll meet you right there. Okay, we're back. Okay, so this is row 14. I single crocheted 12, and now I sometimes don't fill the bottom until I have the top done, but I mean, you can go ahead and fill your bottom. Now the reason I don't fill it is because this fluff gets in the way, you know. So there's still enough space where you can fill more. So I'm just going to put a little bit of filling now. And you don't want to fill it too much where it's perfectly round, because Peeps are not round. They're meant to have almost like, let's see here. See here? This is not a perfect circle. They're meant to look like an actual Peep. So they're, see, we don't fill them up where they become circles. We just fill them up where they become almost like an egg shape. Okay, so here, see, if we continue to fill this, I could fill this and make it a circle because it's a ball. But I don't want to make it a ball. And we don't know which way is going to be the front until we do the ears, okay? So I'm going to fill it just like this, and then we can always put more filling later. So now, I was here, where's my, okay. So now it's telling you to row 15, increase times 12. So that means we're going to make this row 12 stitches. I mean 24 stitches. Oops. We're going to single crochet 2 in each. So that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I leave the screen? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oops, see, I have some of that fluff there. 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, so you see here how this is forming. And then here, once you have 24, it's telling you rows 16 through 19 is going to be 24 single crochets. So basically we're just going to make this larger, which is the head of the Peep. So you're going to do rows 16, 17, 18, and 19. So 4 more rows. Okay, so you'll have a total of 5 rows. So we're missing 4 rows, and then we're going to start the decrease again, and then we'll begin the ears. Okay, so right now we're forming this part here of the Peep. So this part up to here, and then you decrease here, and then we're going to increase again when we go here towards the ears. Okay, so right now you're going to do four more rows of 24 single crochets. Okay, so let's do 4 more rows of single crochets. Okay, I did rows 16 through 19. Now on row 20, I did 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and we're going to decrease. Remember, for the decrease, you're going to go to the first loop of the next 2 stitches. Go through the first 2, and then you're going to go through the following 2. Okay, so then it is 2 single crochets, decrease, follow this all the way around. Then for row 21 is 1 single crochet and decrease times 6. Okay, this is the end of row 23. 2 single crochet in each stitch. So this is my 24. Okay, And then row 24, that was where there was an error, but the new pattern is going to have the corrections. So what we're going to do now is slant stitch to the following stitch, which means you're going to pull up a loop and put it inside the loop you have. So that's the slant stitch. And then what we're going to do is chain 1. So chain 1. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to count to the back of the 12th stitch. So here, not the slant stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to go in from the back, so like this. Okay, and we're going to slant stitch again to that stitch here. And this is going to make your ears. This is why I said don't fill it up all the way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our eyes. So, okay, now have these big eyes here. And I don't know what size, if they're 12 millimeter, 15. I'm going to put it in this description below once I go to the craft store, because I bought a big bag maybe like a year ago. So you're going to need 3 of these safety eyes. And now, once you have the 2 ears, so these are my 2 ears. Okay, so we can start putting it. And on the pattern, it tells you exactly where to put it. Okay. So it's going to look something like this. Oh, he's taking shape. Doesn't he look beautiful? Okay, now let me just show you here how we're going to continue the eye. The ear, I'm sorry. I got so excited with the eye. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're going to go to the left side. So now what we're doing is single crochet the next 12. So not counting the slant stitch space. I've been having a hard time with this yarn. Okay, so now okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oops, 10, 10, 11, and the 12th one is going to be right here, the stitch that you have inside here. So you see it here? Very carefully, I'm going to try to get inside. Okay. That would be a 12th stitch. Okay, so you see how that ear is taking shape? So now follow the pattern on the ear, which tells you to make 5 rows of 12. So we already did the first one. So we want to do 5 more. Then your last row is going to be a decrease times 6. And then you're going to just fasten it off. So I'll meet you here for the next ear, okay? Okay, so here's the ear. I already put some stuffing in it, as you can see. And now when I say fasten off, you're going to do a slip stitch, okay? And then you're going to pull that. So you're going to cut off, I would say about a foot, okay? And see, this is where it's at. Now we're going to do the second ear. So you're going to do a slip stitch. We're going to do like this, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the back side, so instead of the front here. And if you see here, this is where the slip stitch was inserted, and this is where the slip stitch was inserted. We're not using those stitches. So we're going to go right here to the following stitch, right? And so what we're going to do is you're going to take this, and first we're going to do a slip stitch here. So from here, Okay, we're going to pull this in here, and then we're going to take the working yarn and just make a slip stitch. Okay, and then in that same stitch we're going to do a single crochet. So this is how we would do the second ear, and you're going to do the 12 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, the stuffing is coming up here. That's 10. See, this one here is 11. Okay. And then 12, we're going to put this inside. This is from our slip stitch. To start in 12 is this one right in here. So you're going to go this way. Okay, bring it up here. Just a single crochet. That's going to be for number 12. We're going to go back around, and you want to make sure you're not taking that slip stitch there. And you're going to go right back in here, if I could get in here. Oh no, it's becoming difficult. Okay, oh, almost had it. Okay, there we are. And just go all the way around for 5 rows. And you're going to do your last row is going to be a decrease times 6, and you'll end up with 6 stitches. Okay, so I finished the second ear. I fastened off my yarn, and I'm going to show you what I do to close it up. So you want to make sure you stuff it. Okay, I'm going to take here, this is one of my plastic canvas needles. Oops. See, come on, work with me. Okay. Okay, so here we have 6 stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into every stitch. So see here, go inside. That's the first one, the second one, and I'm going under both V's. And then what you want to do is just squeeze, and it's going to close. See how it closed it nicely? And then normally what I do is I make a little knot here, so a double knot. Okay, bring it all the way down, and then stick your needle in there and pull it out the other side. Okay, nice and tight. Pull it up nice and tight, and just cut it off, and it disappears in there. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Not working out. It's these nails, I have to cut them. Okay, so here we have the same thing, 6 stitches. So you're going to go on the outside of the stitch, just bring it into the center, all 6 stitches. I'm not sure if I did all 6 already. Okay, and just pull it. And then again, make a knot way at the bottom. You want to take that and thread it through the ear. Okay, just pull it. Okay, pull it nice and tight. Be careful you don't mess up the bunny. And here you are, complete. And this one's a little bit smaller than this one. I have to check what yarn I used for that one. But this was with Charisma.